Sorry guys, something happened to my computer and it cut off. So now we're on to part two. Okay, so we talked about having this data, right? These are the ages of celebrities. And we talked about why sometimes statisticians do transform data, okay? Some of you know that as curving, if your teacher curves a test, okay? So what are we gonna do here, okay? What I wanna do is I wanna take this original data and I wanna add 10 to it. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to your calculator and I want you to clear out L1, just in case you've forgotten how to do it. You scroll up to L1, hit clear, and then hit enter, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna enter that now. I have 49, 45, 40, 44, 42, 43, 40, 49, 49, 49, and 48. And I'm going to just go ahead and double check to make sure I entered it in right. Okay. So, and I didn't. Okay. So 49 there. That's the value of re-looking at what you just entered. Okay. Because you could enter something in wrong. So you want to make sure you do that right. So I have a weird hair here. Okay. All right. So we're going to keep going with that. We have 49, 45, 40, 44, 42, 43, 40, 49, 49, 49, and 48. We're going to run those statistics again and let's see what happens. So go to second calc. I'm going to hit enter, list one. Those of you with the old calculators, you just hit enter again. Okay, and then I have these summary statistics. So I have my mean, my standard deviation, and you can go down and you can see we have our 5-number summary there as well. And I have recorded that already for us. So take a second and write that all down. Now, what did you notice? Did we necessarily have to add 10 to all these values? Okay, did we? Or what do you notice? Look at the mean is just 10 up, but the standard deviation is the same. Quartile 1 is just 10 up. The median is 10 up. Quartile 3 is 10 up, but the IQR is the same. Why is that? We're going to talk about that in a second. Let's see, instead of adding 10 to our original data, let's take this data and let's multiply it by 2, okay? So I have that over here. Okay, 78, 70, 60, 68, 64, 66, 60, 78, 78, 78, and 76. So you can see when we added 10, these summary statistics, the mean, the quartile 1, the median, and the quartile 3 all had 10 added to it. But the standard deviation and the IQR remained the same. Let's go to our graphing calculator and let's see if the same thing happens. So I have 78. Oops, and again there, 78. Okay, 70, 60, 68, 64, 66, 60, 78, 78, 78, and 76. Okay, again, I'm going to just go up and double check that I typed it all in right. Whoops. So 78, 70, 60, 68, 64, 66, 60, 78, 78, 78, and 76. Perfect. Let's look at these summary statistics. Okay, so let's type that down, and I wrote that down right here, okay? I'm gonna give you spoilers here. Okay, now, did we need to multiply by 2? Let's look. The original data, 35.27. If I would multiply that by 2, 70.55. No, I rounded because I took it from the calculator. But 3, did the standard deviation stay the same? No, the standard deviation was actually multiplied by 2 as well. What about the quartile 1? Quartile 1 was multiplied by 2. The median was multiplied by 2. Quartile 3 was multiplied by 2. And the IQR was not 4, it was 14, okay? That was also multiplied by 2. So you'll notice when we multiplied by 2, all of these statistics changed. In the future, you're going to be asked what will be the new value of your summary statistics and measures of location, which is things like quartile 1, quartile 3, min, max, or any number. You don't need to retype it all in your calculator and run that one variable stats again. What you need to learn is when I transform my data by adding or subtracting, I'm changing everything but the spread. That's the standard deviation and the IQR. Think about it. From my minimum here is 30, my maximum is 39. I have data in between here, and I just added 10 to that data. The spread between the numbers didn't change. That's why it stayed the same here. So did I have to add 10 to everything? No. Now I know that, hey, everything's going to change by 10, but my measures of spread, that will remain the same. So instead of adding 10 to the data and rerunning it again, I could have just said 35.27 plus 10. 3.69, that would stay the same because it's a measure of spread. 32 plus 10, that's a measure of location. 35 plus 10, 39 plus 10, but 7 is an IQR, that's a measure of spread. Okay, that stays the same. Now, if I would have said, hey, what will your summary statistics and your measures of location be if I take this data and multiply by 2? I wouldn't have needed to multiply everything by 2, okay, and put it in my calculator and rerun the statistics. You could, it just would be a little bit of a waste of time. Instead, you could know that, hey, when I take my data from 30 to 39 and I multiply it by 2, everything gets bigger, right? The spread between the lowest and the highest, as well as the numbers in general, okay? So the mean was multiplied by 2. The standard deviation was multiplied by 2. Quartiles, the median, the quartile 3, and the IQR was all multiplied by 2. What should we have learned? Let's write it down. When transforming by adding or subtracting, the only summary statistics that change are the measures of location and center, but not the spread. When transferring data by multiplying or dividing, all summary statistics change. All right, thanks for going through this investigation with me today. We'll touch base here in a second to see if you have any questions. Take care.